Namaste. My name is Melissa and I teach yoga and meditation. And today I'm going to share 5 simple tips to get started with your meditation practice. I'll be talking about where and how to sit, what you can do with your hands, what you can do with your eyes, how to breathe, and finally, what to do with your mind. So, the first thing is your choice of where you will sit. When we start meditating, anything is a great distraction. So, ideally, pick a space that is quiet and where you feel comfortable. This can be somewhere in your home, perhaps somewhere in nature. It could be on your bed or in your room on the ground. How you sit depends on what feels most comfortable for you. So, if you feel comfortable cross legged sitting on the ground, this is a great pose to sit in. However, if that is not comfortable for you, you can sit on a chair or on the edge of your bed or anywhere that you feel like you can relax. Um, some people need a backrest, so if you feel like sitting up without a backrest causes a lot of tension in your body, you may feel like you have to tense your abdomen or it's uncomfortable in your back, then feel free to find somewhere that you can rest your back, whether it's a chair or against the wall. Otherwise, you can sit away from the wall. And I do have one recommendation in terms of how you sit. I advise keeping your spine not straight because the spine isn't naturally straight, but long. So avoiding any kind of slouching or curving of the spine, as this tends to affect our ability to stay focused as we come into this kind of rounded back. So thinking of keeping your shoulders relaxed but away from your ears and aligned with your hips. What you do with your feet, your legs, if you're sitting on the ground, really, again, entirely depends on you. However, we do want to keep in mind that our intention is to stay still for the duration of the practice. So take as long as you need to get settled into your pose, into your seat, so that you can stay still. Now, your hands, what to do with your hands. So there are many different options. Hand postures are referred to as mudras. There are many different mudras. You may recognize this very famous hand posture. You may want to have your hands in this mudra resting the top of the hand on the lap or on the knees. But you can also have simply the hands open. And you can also have your palms facing down. You could have your hands creating like a little cup, one palm on one hand on top of the other with the thumbs touching, making sure that the hands are resting on your lap so that you're not holding the arms up and therefore creating tension in the shoulders, but really relaxing the shoulders and letting the hands rest wherever they land. Alternatively, you can create this triangle shape with your hands, interlacing your 3 last fingers and connecting the index and the thumb like this. And again, also resting this mudra on your lap, on your inner thighs, depending on how you're sitting. And I recommend trying different hand postures on different meditation sittings. So rather than changing while you're meditating, seeing how it feels. And if you feel like, for example, holding this is creating tension, then you can simply choose a different mudra the next time you meditate. Now, breath. So there are many different types of breath control practices. We refer to this as pranayama, different types of breathing. And I will recommend for anyone starting meditation the simplest form of breath, which is referred to as 3D, three-dimensional breath. It sounds fancy, it's very simple, or 3-part breath. Which is also known as diaphragm breathing. So the idea is that rather than keeping the breath just in the upper chest, you may notice the difference as I do this, like breathing here, which creates tension here and limits my ability to breathe deeply. So bringing the breath all the way into the lower ribs as the lower lungs fill up first. Letting the ribs expand out to the sides and then finally filling up the chest. And then exhaling slowly in the same way, exhaling first up, middle, lower ribs. Again, breathing in, belly expands. Side of the ribs, upper chest. And then everything relaxes as we breathe out. So I do want to say here, don't feel like you need to go to the top of your breath when you're breathing in, because this can cause tension. So anything that is causing tension, we want to avoid. So if you're breathing and getting stuck here, then breathe a little bit less. And very important as well, try to lengthen your breath so that it is longer than your inhale. So the exhale is longer than the inhale. So you could count for 4 as you breathe in, and count for 5 or for 6 as you breathe out. Lengthening the exhale is a really good way to enter the parasympathetic nervous system, but I'll do a separate video on that. If you don't want to count, if that feels like a distraction, then don't count. Just try to breathe deeply, slowly, and mindfully. Now, what to do with your eyes. Most meditation practices recommend closing the eyes. I like closing my eyes. However, I have met people who have shared that they find this overwhelming. So if this is the case for you, you can have your eyes half closed with a soft gaze towards the ground. Ideally having the lids halfway down so that you don't have your eyes wide and open to receive external stimulation, visual stimulation, and then keeping your gaze focused on one point. So if you have your eyes a little bit open, keep them on one point in front of you. Alternatively, if you're closing your eyes, you may want to roll your eyes up to bring your gaze, your eyes are closed of course, but your internal gaze towards your third eye, which looks a little like this. I like this practice, but you are welcome to try them all and see which one works for you. Again, I recommend trying different techniques, different practices on different sittings so that you don't use these as distractions during your meditation. And finally, I kept this last because it is perhaps the most challenging aspect of meditation, what to do with your mind. So, assuming that you will do the breath awareness practice to begin with, there are hundreds of meditation techniques and I'll be sharing some more, but the most basic meditation practice is breath awareness. This means keeping your focus on your breath. So as you inhale, feeling the air enter your body, focusing on the sensation of the air in your body, and then as you exhale, simply observing how the air departs your body and how it feels. Very quickly, you may notice that your mind will be wandering off to the past or the future or anything else that is not happening in the moment. Or it might be something happening in the moment, an itch, a sensation in the body, sound, anything, a thought, a random thought sometimes. Our practice as meditators is to keep bringing ourselves back to the focus of the meditation, in this case, the breath. So as you notice your mind wandering off, rather than beating yourself up and thinking that you failed at meditation, bring yourself back to your breath. Bring your awareness back. This is the practice. You cannot fail at meditation. You cannot succeed at meditation. You can simply practice. I have written a whole article on 3 main meditation myths, as well as the benefits of the countless benefits of meditation. You can find the link somewhere below. this is all for today. My deepest wish to everyone watching this is that you can make some time in your daily routine to introduce 5, perhaps 10 minutes of meditation, and that you can witness and reap the benefits of this beautiful ancient practice. Thank you for watching. Namaste.